Picture you are 18 or 19 years old, right? And you're raising two infants. The electricity in your apartment shuts off. Your fridge is empty. You've run out of diapers and your baby won't stop crying.
One bad decision, man. Just one bad decision, and I ain't been home since.
I'm Quntos Wilson. I am a incarcerated artist, I guess you would say.
He was really a good kid. And he loved drawing. Oh my God, he drew on everything. I was like 30 something when Quan left me.
I'm Layla Roberts, man. I've been on this planet for 48 years. You know, be 49 November the 1st. 30 of those years has been spent right here on this phone.
Quntos Wilson was 19 years old in Shreveport, Louisiana, with two toddlers in need of diapers in a home with no electricity. Desperate to provide for his family, Quntos and 18-year-old Layla Roberts approached Claudia Oliver in the parking lot of Eastgate Shopping Center. Armed with handguns, the two teenagers told her they needed $5,000 and asked how close she could get. Claudia said she could cash a check for $301.97. Using her car, they drove her to Premier Bank where she cashed the check. They let her out at a nearby apartment complex and told her that she could find her car returned to the shopping center. Upon returning the vehicle, they were apprehended by police.
You've had us since we were 19 years old. I'm talking to my granddaughter on the phone now, man. How long is long enough?
I believe she knows that we didn't have any intentions of harm. We may have scared her to death. And I believe we did. I know we did. I would be afraid if somebody was to grab me and take me by gunpoint. I would be scared to death.
It was just really, it was a bad time. It was a bad time for young black boys. You know, once they got out of school, there was nothing for them to do. They just had the streets.
When crack was introduced here, it destroyed us. It destroyed us in ways that no other drug has. And through the crack epidemic led to this mass incarceration, and Shreveport suffered.
They take a lot of dads from their kids or whatever, and they take them for such a long time. You're damaging the whole family when you do that.
Quntos and Layla were charged with aggravated kidnapping, who, by the way, had no idea that the statute they were being charged with carried a mandatory life sentence. They didn't know that basic thing about their case. And why did they not know that? Because their lawyer didn't tell them.
She says that she has money in the bank, right? So the thing swings from a robbery to a kidnapping, but we're not understanding all of this.
There were many, many, many factors that should have been presented to the court to try to achieve a downward adjustment in the sentence.
They should have known that they were not regular kidnappers because they told the lady that they was gonna take her car back to where they got it from.
The lady got her money back. The lady was unharmed. The car was unharmed. But still, you gonna give them all that time.
Quntos was literally going to use the money from this terrible crime to buy diapers for his baby. I mean, if that's not a mitigating factor, I'm not sure what is.
You know, in Louisiana, even if it's a mandatory life sentence, it doesn't have to be a mandatory life sentence. Judges are allowed to exercise their discretion if the sentence is excessive.
On the morning of the trial, the prosecutor offered a 20-year plea deal. This is what Layla's lawyer testified to, under oath, actually.
When I read the record and found that 20-year offer, I was like, man, that dude ain't tell me about that. I would have took that.
There were virtually no efforts whatsoever to defend Layla or Quntos at any stage of the proceeding.
Louisiana laws are just old and outdated. And I just say we just an inch above slavery.
When you're going into Angola, you're seeing all the images of slavery. You got a line for the black guys, the guards on the back of horses, big walls of tobacco in their mouth with guns, saying all this slave jargon.
And I just don't understand how a system operates. I'm sentenced to death, basically. I'm sentenced to death. That's really what a life sentence is. Die by incarceration.
The crime don't fit the time. Just as simple as that.
Now, every year we always hoping maybe this year he'll be out for his birthday. Well, maybe this year, and oh, but maybe. And it's always, oh, maybe.
I didn't feel like I got a lot of push because it was so like, you're so strong, you know how to do this. But with him, like I told y'all, he's always challenging me. And I'm like, you know, I probably could have been a lot farther if he was here. I told them every time you get off the phone that you say that I said when we was growing up, it was daddy's little girls, ain't nobody fool. But I told them since we got older, it's
Says mind is forsaken, you listen to your heart.
Now, I knew they was gonna stay a long time, but so I'm praying that something changes in somebody's heart and he do come home. I just want him to come home before I go home.
It's been a long ass 30 years, man.
He's in a bad situation, but I feel like he did the best he could in that situation.
I'm not the same person no more, you know what I mean? I like this person I've become.
He's always making little stuff and for my daughter. But he's really talented.
I love jewelry, man. That's my passion. Not only do I want to continue to improve on it, but I also want to share it and help somebody else find that same thing. I didn't have that. This is just a whole nother world that you can open up to people. I gave plenty of earrings away, man. Them kids, they love it. I don't need a receipt for that. I would much prefer to see somebody smile.
Quntos would sit down and write and draw and stuff forever at home.
My purpose and talent would be communicating things that people can use to grow.
Yeah, well, he never stopped. And then, of course, the book.
When we got the reviews for This Life, I was traveling around in the cell blocks. I was in the cell block dormitory for the Legacy Award. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that none of it was part of my daily reality. You know what was real? Seeing that legacy trophy in my mom's lap. Release would make me a better artist because I would be able to taste a different day than the one that I've been reliving for the last 30 years. Imagine they read the writings they confiscate as if they could appreciate my prose. Here, self-esteem is contraband in this place. Make sure you beat the shakedown. Shock therapy in the moment you get used to the flash. I slip my socks on first after strip search. These grounds are cold. The old ones are waiting now, cremated. Why be buried after a life in a box?